Howdy. Energy is the fundamental driving force of the industrial revolution. Now, have you ever wondered ba kung anong mangyari kung nawala all of a sudden wala na tayong fossil fuel kasi dito po nanggagaling sa fossil fuel yung energy na meron tayo. And so, nandito ko ngayon para i-discuss yung mga alternative energy resources. So, by the way, my name is Muhyiddin S. Zakaria of BSSW2A. And I'm together with by Rosan Tuan, which is later i-discuss niya yung ibang parts. Pero ang hawak ko is itong alternative energy resources. So here are the contents of the PPT. Industrial Revolution, we're just going to discuss a little bit of it. We're not going to run through completely about Industrial Revolution, kung ano pa man ang nandyan, and alternative energy resources, advantages and disadvantages, government institutions on alternative energy in the Philippines. Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution, it was the shift from an agrarian and handicraft-based economy to one dominated by industry and machine manufacturing. So, di ba nga noon kasi guys, bago pa tayo dumating itong sa point of industrial revolution is lahat is mano-mano talaga, bayahan. It requires a lot of people and force and physical talaga. But now, with a simple click, meron ka na ng gustong makuha. Literally, I'm not even exaggerating kung paano ka efficient na ngayon. Ang kailangan mo lang yung sarili mo and yung cellphone. Kaya ganun din sa mga pag-produce ng maraming bagay o sa mga factory, sa mga machine. Hindi na nangangailangan ng tao, makina na lang, meron nag-produce, di ba? So, yun na yung kagandahan talaga ng Industrial Revolution. Sobrang efficient na nga. Especially ngayong 21st century. The emergence of Industrial Revolution was in the year 1760. In this period, Industrial Revolution, it introduced new ways of working and living, fundamentally transforming the society as it is now. Technological advances brought new energy resources and machines, including coal, steam engines, electricity, petroleum, and internal combustion engines, which is provided power for industry and transport. So, lahat ng mga nabanggit ko, essentially, mga fossil fuel yan sila, guys. However, the heavy use and extraction of natural energy resources during the time has caused a significant environmental damage. Nga, kasi yung itong mga fossil fuel is hindi sila unlimited, guys. Fossil fuels are coal, oil, and natural gas. They are formed from ancient plants and animals that was buried under the earth hundreds of millions of years ago na. They take millions of years of heat and pressure to develop. So, sobrang tagal ng panahon. Ito yung isa sa dahilan kung bakit natin nasabing hindi sila renewable. They cannot be replaced within a human lifetime. Sadly, yun ang naging problema natin sa fossil fuel. However, useful it is, yun lang na hindi siya limited lang po siya. Actually, nauubos din, especially sobrang lakas natin gumamit ng electricity, ng kung ano naman, kahit anong mga gamit na may fossil fuel na halo yan, kahit ngayong sasakyan natin, may fossil fuel dyan. Verdict. So, verdict ko, fossil fuels are the energy resources we commonly use, but they are depleting and they will not last forever. So here are the alternative energy resources. So before that, let us define it. Alternative energy resources are renewable, that do not use up natural resources or harm the environment, or can replace fossil fuels such as coal, natural gas, and oil. Alternative energy resources are used to generate power and reduce dependence on fossil fuels while still protecting the environment. Guys, alternative energy resources ang kailangan natin. Ito na ang literal na solusyon sa nangyayaring pagkaubos o pagkasira ng ating nature. So, here are the types of alternative energy resources. One of them, pinaka-common sa lahat, solar energy. Di ba guys, paglalabas tayo, maaraw. Yes. umaaraw and lagi silang nandyan. Tuwing gabi lang, wala yan. Solar energy comes from the sun's rays. Yung ganyang rays, yung nilalabas yung ano ba, liwanag ba? And is captured using solar panels or extract or harnessed through solar panels or solar thermal system. It is used to produce electricity. Ito naman, electricity, heat, water, and power homes or businesses. Di ba guys, di ba meron kayong flashlight o yung ilaw, yung ano yun, solar light, basta yung solar na yun na mabili mo lang dyan sa mga town, sa mga paligid lang, di ba, pag ginababa natin sa araw, na-charge siya. Yan sila. Example nun. So it is solar energy is used to generate electricity, heat, water. They power homes, buildings, even the street lights, and even small gadgets like calculators. So we can harness them through solar cells, inverters, solar trackers, solar thermal collectors, concentrated power mirrors, and thermal storage tanks. So ito yung mga ginawa ng mga scientists natin para ma-harness nila. So ito naman, isa pa, wind energy. Wind energy is generated by wind turbines that convert the movement of air into electricity. It is one of the fastest growing renewable energy sources worldwide and it's one of the most relevant. Guys, ang wind energy, di ba itong wind energy, ito na yung malaking electric, yes, electric fan, literally, not joking. Parang electric fan siya na mayroong napakalaging mga, yun ba, umiikot na habang umiikot sila, nag-generate yun ng energy. It is used to produce electricity in wind farms, pump water in rural areas, and power small communities. So, ibig sabihin pala, kahit yung maliliit lang din na wind energy, wind turbine, hindi lang pala yung malalaki lang na nakikita natin sa internet. So, these are extracted through horizontal axis wind turbines, turbine blades, towers, yaw systems, foundations. Offshore uses monopiles or floating platforms and subsea cables. So ito naman, isa pa, hydropower, water energy. Hydropower uses flowing or falling water often from dams or river to spin turbines and generate electricity. It is reliable and widely used for large-scale energy production. Di ba guys, yung mga dam, alala kung may mga kikita natin sa internet, yung dam na biglang may lumalabas sa tubig, yan sila guys, hydropower na yan. They provide electricity for cities and industries. They could also help with irrigation, the flood control, and water storage. So kahit sa ano pa lang, hindi naman about sa energy, but about the pagligtas sa isang komunidad kagaya ng flood control, no? Kapag meron tayong ganito dam, hydropower is doon na pupunta yung maraming tubig instead sa mga kabahayan. Hydropower can be harnessed through dams and reservoir, penstocks, water turbines, generators, sluice gates, and control gates. So ito guys, basahin na lang. And geothermal energy naman. Geothermal energy, this comes from heat within the Earth's crust. So itong geothermal energy guys is nanggaling po siya sa, well, nasa ilalim po talaga siya. Doon natin siya na-extract. And in fact, ang scientists, mga expert is habang dinidrill nila ang Earth, hindi pa tayo completely nakadrill sa pinakailalim guys. Kung titingnan nyo, nandito lang tayo sa tip. Wala sobrang lahi natin. But anyway, ang point doon is galing sa init ng crust. Galing sa init ng crust yung energy ng geothermal energy. It is used to produce electricity and provide heating for buildings through geothermal power plants. It is used for buildings, producing electricity once again, and providing hot water for domestic and industrial purposes. So ito na, geothermal wells. Drilling rigs. Yung drilling rigs ba yung nagabutas sa ating plan, nagabutas ng Earth. Production, injection pipelines, yung mga pipelines, steam separators, turbines. Ito sila guys, itong heat exchangers and ground source heat pump loops for low temperature use. Ito sila. Yung paano na-extract. Then biomass energy. It is produced from organic materials such as plants, crops, and waste. It can be burned directly or converted into biofuels like ethanol and biodiesel to power them vehicles. So itong biomass is essentially ito na yung sa mga sasakyan na electric, I guess, na kung saan ito yung primarily na nagpapatakbo po sa kanila, itong biomass energy. It is used to produce biofuels such as ethanol and biodiesel, generate heat and supply power in the rural areas. Biomass, it is harnessed through biomass boilers, gasifiers, anaerobic digesters, or biogas production, pelletizers, fermentation tanks, or ethanol, for ethanol, my bad, and distillation columns and combined heat and power HP units. So dito nila gina-harness sa mga itong nasa ilalim, guys. So yun guys, sa tidal energy naman tayo. Tidal energy is a type of renewable energy generated by the natural rise and fall of the ocean tides. It uses the movement of water caused by gravitational forces from the moon and the sun to produce electricity. Damn. Yes, sa ilalim nito sila guys. Yun. They provide electricity for homes, industries, and coastal communities, helping reduce reliance on renewable energy sources. So, nakakapture din nito sa pamamagitan ng tunnel turbines, barrages, or underwater generators placed in oceans, estuaries, and rivers where tides are strong. So, nasa ilalim talaga ito sila, guys. Nasa ilalim sila. And ngayon sa wave energy naman tayo. Wave energy captures the motion of ocean surface waves through special floating or submerged devices that convert wave movement into electricity. Ito sa ilalim din. It converts ocean wave movement into electricity in coastal and island communities. So itong wave energy guys, ito yung nagpapatakbo sa mga isla-isla. Di ba sa isla guys is walang, same lang din sila nitong sa tidal energy. Same lang din sila nang nako-contribute sa mga isla na walang electricity, di ba? Yung mga isolated na lugar. So wave energy is harnessed through wave energy converters. Yung oscillating water columns, point observers, and attenuators, buoys, hydraulic, pneumatic, power takeoff systems and subsea transmission cables. So ito, I think ito na yung meron pa palang last. Hydrogen energy is produced by separating hydrogen from water or natural gas daw. So yun ang hydrogen energy. When used in fuel cells, it generates electricity with only water vapor as byproduct, making it one of the cleanest energy forms daw, sabi dito. Itong hydrogen energy is complex to na, well, medyo bago pa lang siya, kaya ako hindi masyado ko nakanat ng mas magandang explanation, but yun ang hydrogen energy. Sinabi dito na separate daw yung basta yun na yun. It power vehicles like hydrogen fuel cell cars, generates electricity, and can store excess renewable energy. Hydrogen energy is extracted through getting hydrogen from water or other materials, using it as fuel, which produce energy and only water as waste. So last na nakuha ko itong biofuels is energy produced from organic materials like plants, crops, food, waste, or wood sa mga nature itself. It powers vehicles that uses biofuel like Ford Raptor yung hanap ko. Meron din Volkswagen na sasakyan, yung brand ng Volkswagen. It generates electricity and heat for homes and industries. It is harnessed through conversion process such as burning, fermentation, or chemical extraction to turn the organic material into a usable fuel. So I think that is all for my part. Advantages and disadvantages and all institutions that do govern the alternative energy resources will be discussed by Tuan.
Hi guys, I'm Larissa Tuan, and i-continue ko po yung topic namin ni Zakaria, which is yung alternative energy. So ang aking pong part is the advantages and disadvantages of alternative energy. is yung mga advantages po of alternative energy. So first is environmentally friendly. So ibig sabihin, kaunti lang greenhouse gases na nilalabas nila. So less pollution at nakakatulong ito para bumagal ang global warming. So pangalawa, renewable and sustainable. Ang araw, hangin at tubig hindi nauubos kaya long-term source sila ng energy. Pangatlo is energy independence. Kapag marami tayong renewable energy, hindi na tayo masyadong umaasa sa imported fossil fuels. So, mas safe at stable ang supply ng mga kuryente. And lastly is nagre-result ito ng economic growth dahil mas maraming trabaho at bagong industry ang nabubuo. And that's all for the advantages of the alternative energy. Siyempre, no, kung may advantages, meron ding disadvantages. So, first, sa disadvantage is mataas ang initial cost. Mahal magtayo ng solar plants, wind farms, or geothermal systems. Second is intermittent supply. Depende sa weather. Kapag walang araw, walang solar. Kapag walang hangin, mahina ang wind. Third, land and environmental impact. Minsan, naapektuhan ng wildlife at ecosystem, lalo na sa malalaking solar fields o hydro dams. And lastly, energy storage challenge. Mahirap at mahal pa rin ang store ng excess energy ngayon. And kung ganun man, is magmamahal lalo. And that's all sa disadvantages of the alternative energy. So, proceed na po tayo sa institutions that focuses on alternative energy. So, sa Pilipinas, maraming institution ang nagpo-promote ng renewable energy. First na dito is yung National Power Corporation or NPC. Government-owned sila at nagde-develop ng renewable projects lalo na sa off-grid areas gamit ang SPUG. Next is PNOC Renewable Corporation. Sila ang nagpo-produce ng solar, biomass at wind project. Then, we have the Department of Energy or DOE. Sila ang nagsiset ng policies at national strategies of renewable energy. Meron din tayong National Renewable Energy Board or NREB. They recommend programs para i-encourage ang paggamit ng solar, wind, and hydro energy. And finally, Energy Regulatory Commission or ERC. Sila ang nag-i-ensure ng fair pricing at competition sa power industry. So overall, alternative energy is major step towards a cleaner and safer future. And that's all for our topic. Thank you.